Stephen as they were still, focused on their tasks. When he reached the spot, Stephen pushed aside some mud, and in that moment he almost jumped back in shock. There really was something buried beneath the mud. Taking a deep breath to calm himself, he stepped closer and peered down. It was an animal. A puppy. The moment Stephen realized what he was looking at, he sprang into action, digging as fast as he could to free the barely moving creature. As he worked, one question kept running through his mind. How had the puppy ended up in this situation? Meanwhile, the rest of the crew was nearly finished with their inspection. It was only then that they noticed Stephen was missing. Curious, they set off to find him. What they found left them speechless. Stephen had pulled a tiny, mud-covered creature from the ground. The puppy was in terrible shape. Hard chunks of dried mud completely covered its frail body. The layer was so thick and solid that they couldn't simply wipe it off without risking further injury or causing the animal pain. Looking at the puppy's condition, the crew concluded that it must have been trapped there for quite some time. This led to a troubling question. Had the previous crew accidentally buried the animal while clearing the terrain, or had someone done this on purpose? Whatever the case, Stephen knew one thing for certain. The puppy needed medical attention immediately. He feared that if the puppy had been stuck in the mud for days, its biggest problem wasn't the dirt. It was whatever internal damage or infections it might have sustained. After some quick discussion, the crew decided to finish their assigned tasks while Stephen personally took the puppy to the nearest vet. Before leaving, he called ahead to alert the clinic about the emergency. Thankfully, the vet's office was only a 15-minute drive away, but Stephen was in such a hurry that he made it in 10. The puppy's breathing was weak, and Stephen could feel it growing weaker by the minute. When he arrived at the clinic, an employee was already waiting outside to help him. As soon as they brought the puppy inside, the employee informed Stephen that the vet on duty was finishing up an operation. However, Stephen was assured that they would be seen right after. To speed things up, the clinic employee began running some preliminary checks on the puppy. She first tried to get it to drink some water, but the animal was too weak to respond. This was a bad sign. Acting quickly, she set up an IV to deliver fluids and nutrients while gently attempting to clean off some of the mud with warm water and a cloth. The process was slow and delicate. The puppy whimpered in pain every time she touched it. But as she carefully removed the dirt, she noticed something unusual. The puppy didn't quite look like a puppy. However, it was still too dirty to tell for sure. By the time the vet finally called Stephen into the office, the puppy, still connected to the IV, was carefully wheeled in. The vet immediately began taking its vitals and conducting a thorough